Greetings, Disney fans. Welcome back to Games Show. You, the viewer, me, the host, for all video game walkthroughs and playthroughs, but if you stay for the pop culture knowledge we're in, just about to shower, I know. But, I know it's Disney, it's not Disney thing, but, best I could do. I don't have a Disney shirt. I got a Marvel and I got some Marvel and I got some Star Wars shirts, but I just don't have actually straight up Disney. But, we're going to be talking about Pocahontas. Just the first one. Disregard the second movie. But yeah, I do have the Blu-ray 2-pack. I haven't watched the second one yet. Haven't gotten around to it. However, the first Pocahontas movie is... Yeah, it's got some controversy now, but I'll get to that later. It is a classic from the 90s, near the tail end of the Renaissance era. Um, and it did some pretty good bank, but not as good as the first couple of them. And, but this main story is historically inaccurate. That I can agree with. It is completely inaccurate to the original plot, the original story of Pocahontas, which was a real person. It's a lot darker. So, but, but the main story of this one is a bit of a romance mixed with some very, very high tensions between two specific sides. John Smith and his, English colonists, um, and Pocahontas and her Native American tribe. But let's get some stuff out of the way first. Main story. If you had, I'm not gonna spoil this movie for y'all. If you haven't seen this movie, what are you doing? It's on Disney Plus. It's on Blu-ray. Go watch it. But for those of you out there who just want to be here, main plot is very simple. Pocahontas is a free spirit, and unlike her mother, who technically settled and is dead in true Disney fashion, she wants a new path. While this is happening, the English have started settling in and are looking for gold, where there is none. And unfortunately for Pocahontas, tensions start escalating between these two factions, and the factions do not want to meet up. However, Pocahontas does have a best friend, and she does have a suitor, a betrothed, and it's not it's not a very good thing. But and then John Smith, there's a little bit of romance here, and well, it started meeting up more and more. It started bringing in probably the best character in the movie, Grandmother Willow. Um, and while all this is going on, while all of this, along with the comic relief of not one but two animal sidekicks to Pocahontas in um, Miko, a gluttonous raccoon who frequently gets in it with Percy, the dog of the main villain, who by the end of the film becomes part of the Indian tribe. I guess I don't know when that happened. I guess Grandmother Willow really snapped him out of it. And then Trico, and then Flit. Flit is a little bee hummingbird, which Miko's the little devil on telling Pocahontas, "Hey, do your own thing." Flit is the one that is basically do what your father told you. Do what your father told you. He's the angel that's telling her do the right thing. But therein lies the rub of this movie. It actually has two main uh, uh, things that I've seen. Watching the film, I've taken the rose tinted glasses off, watched it, and well, there's two specific little lessons from this movie I can gather, and it's throughout most of the film. The most prevalent one is follow your path. The right answer isn't always the easiest path. You have to follow your path, wherever that may take you. And sometimes that could be a bumpy path, or ones with various twists and turns. But you gotta try it. If you don't try, it's you know, it's up to you. You make your destiny. You cut your own path. The other one, however, I'll get to in a second. This this movie boasts not only the voice talent of Mel Gibson as um, John Smith, which is just awesome. I didn't know that until I was like 18 or 19. So I went years not knowing that this was the case. But they also have probably one of my favorite villains. Not one of my top 10, mind you, but he's definitely a villain that stands out amongst the crowd. Governor Ratcliffe. This guy is greedy, corrupt, and by the end of it, well, he gets tied up like a Christmas goose, and his mouth finally shut up. So, sent back to merry old England. I am skipping over a lot of major story elements, but I just want y'all to go see this film. Go watch this film. It is a good Disney movie, boasting some incredible songs from the first couple of them that kind of showcase who these factions are, as well as Colors of the Wind, which is a masterpiece. Always brings me to like tears when I try to sing it. It's just like, oh god, this is so beautiful. I can't sing this, not without tearing up. It's so beautiful. They're happy tears. Very few songs do that to me. I will admit that, but this is one of them. Um, it's so gorgeous. It's such a gorgeous piece, but there is a controversial one, which is why Disney Plus has a bit of a thing slapped on this movie. Yes, it's historically accurate, but people have lately said that it says racist, and especially for this song, Savages. I, however, think it's the exact opposite. It actually calls out racism, and thus the second main little takeaway from the movie. Don't judge someone by the color of their skin. And unfortunately, we're seeing that now. We're basically seeing that now. But on the opposite end. See, obviously, neither side is good nor evil. They're scared. And they're being rallied. One is being rallied by a crazy person. The other is, these are foreign invaders. They're scared. They don't know what they're dealing with. One knows exactly what they're dealing with for the most part, but they don't know the place. And they're being whipped into a frenzy by a crazy lunatic in the government. So you're gonna have tensions, and Savages shows that. One side's got a death, the other side's got someone captured on the enemy camp. Of course, it's gonna come to war, and it's mostly hurled at the white person's part of it, but the Indians, the Native Americans, throw some pretty hurtful jabs too. And that's what anger and fear mixed does. And when tensions are this high, you're going to start hurling insults, slurs. It's going to happen. And this showcases it in a beautiful, pure Disney fashion. And it's one of my favorite songs in the film, along with Color of the Wind and technically the villain song, but it's also John Smith's um uh my I think that's what it's called. Mind the Gold or whatever. The Mind Song. I don't know. I don't know what it's called, but it's basically, the gold mining song. You know it. But, if you don't watch the film, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. However, Savages is one of my favorites from this movie because of its message. This movie these two factions have escalated, and now there's a casualty and a capture. Or a kidnap or whatever you want to call it. One has a prisoner of war, one has a death. See where I'm going with this? War was inevitable. Neither side wanted to come together, but Pocahontas saved the day. I know that's not historically accurate. This movie, I'm not saying it's historically accurate at all, but I will not say it's racist either. In fact, I think it calls out racism a bit. And that's the problem nowadays. Most of the racism comes from white people out of their mouths. More specifically, calling out the racism in older stuff. Most people don't really care about this. I've seen quite a few things that are considered racist, and the one that's called racist who doesn't care. Jinx from Pokemon is a good example. Quite a few black people don't didn't give a shit that she was technically blackface. No, mostly said that white people. They were, and it's whipped some of these other people into a frenzy, these crazies, and well, it escalates, and it's escalating further. And honestly, it's bad, but that's what fear and prejudice and just judging another person just because of the color of their skin. I'm a white guy. Anyone can tell you that I'm a white guy. So that automatically means I'm a bigot, I'm an asshole, and not the good kind. Um, I'm also Christian and straight, which means I'm racist, and and like I said, a bigot, and I don't care about anybody but myself. That couldn't be further from the truth about any of that. I really don't care either way. Honestly, as long as you leave me alone about it, don't push the subject. I don't care. That's your choice. We all have a choice to make, and that's the whole point of Pocahontas. It's the choices we make, the path we carve, and in the end, pretty much all but Governor Radcliffe obviously chooses to forgo their weapons and make peace. Took John Smith getting shot, but hey, Governor Radcliffe's taken care of. However, the sequel, I do recall seeing that the sequel does bring him back, which is, they don't do that very often for some of the minor villains, or some of the minor movies that aren't big. That had sequels. A lot of times they used new villains. The only ones that I can remember getting into it are, along with the television series spin-offs, are like some of the bigger ones like Hades, Cruella, Jafar. They came back numerous times in their respective franchises, and all of them came back for House of Mouse for the most part. A lot of them did for the House of Villains. I don't think Governor Radcliffe ever did. He might have. I don't know. Um, but yeah, not too many villains return in their sequels. Um, it happens. It happens. And you need new villains every time for the most part. And well, the ones that we do get, it's kind of cool. I can't remember if there's Cinderella, obviously Lady Tremaine and the Ugly Step Sisters. Although one of them I don't consider a villain, even a sidekick villain. So Yzma, but come on, it's Yzma. It's Yzma. She's probably the funniest character in the Emperor's New Groove franchise. Just saying, and she's the best one. First movie had Eartha Kitt, and that's just awesome. Catwoman, original Catwoman, that's just awesome. Well, second original Catwoman. Whole thing. I will discuss that at a later date. But yeah, Pocahontas. It's, what would I rate it? 5 out of 5. 5 stars out of 5. It is an awesome watch, must watch. If you're a Disney fan, if you're an animation fan, this movie will speak to you. Colors of the Wind, and to a certain extent, Savages, with especially near the end of the song, the first part of it. There's actually two parts of all this, but it's so beautiful. they did so much good work on this movie. If you're a Disney fan, you're gonna love Pocahontas as a character. You're gonna love the three sidekicks in Miko, um, Flit, and Percy. The animal sidekicks are just hilarious with their antics with each other. Miko with harassing Percy, and Flit to a certain extent. Flit trying to get both Flit and Percy trying to get Miko, and Miko's just like, nope, not, nope, not having it. You ain't gonna get me so easy. And it's usually by sheer dumb luck. It's funny. I love this film. I do have a little nostalgia for it, but I also took off the rose tinted glasses as an adult and as a reviewer for pop culture. I had to do that, but you know, it's not a bad watch. It's not. The sequel, I don't know. I'm going to watch it, and I'll give you my answer at a later date. So with that being said, hopefully this gave you a new perspective on the movie. If it didn't, I'm sorry. You know, if you didn't get that from the movie, I'm sorry. You just didn't get it. With that being said, guys, be sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and of course, go down in the comment section down below and let me know what you think of this movie. Did you watch it? If you hadn't, are you going to go see it? Don't let the controversy with this movie stop you from watching it, or any of the movies that they deem controversial, like Dumbo and Peter Pan. Don't let that stop you. Also, I know this is a weird one to do first, but it's in the middle of November. I wanted to do it. So that being said, this has been the Gamers Den. I've been Candace Lupus. Y'all been awesome. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.